Welcome to the Outdoor Biz Podcast, where each Tuesday, your host, Rick Sayes, gathers around the mic with outdoor industry entrepreneurs, brand leaders, founders, and enthusiasts to share stories from the backcountry, the startup files, and the retail aisles. Rick's guests offer actionable advice to land your ideal industry gig, grow your outdoor career, or plan your next big adventure. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss a single episode. And now, here's Rick.
Welcome to episode 352 of the Outdoor Biz Podcast. Brought to you this week by SmugMug, connecting photographers with revenue to help you sell smarter and sell more. Today I'm joined by Christina Henderson, Event Director for the Running Event, the premier conference and trade show for run specialty retailers. Welcome to the show, Christina.
Hi, Rick. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. This is going to be very fun, very exciting. Talk about some new stuff going on with the running event. But let's begin with a little bit about you. I'm guessing you're a runner, right?
I am. Good guess. I have been a runner as long as I can remember. It's played a large part in my life, and I feel lucky that now it's a big part of my job.
Very cool. That's cool to mix something fun with work. I've always tried to do that my entire life, so you nailed it.
Right. I mean, I feel very lucky that I am passionate about my job, and I just love running, and I believe in how it can change lives, and I get to be a part of that. So I feel very lucky. Yeah,
it's pretty fun. So I used to run a lot when I was younger, and my knees weren't so banged up, but it's a little, I could still do it, but just it's not worth the wear and tear. But your mind goes blank and you just kind of zone out when you get into it, right? It's awesome.
Absolutely. It's my favorite way to begin a day.
There you go.
Outside, in nature, with myself, and just in nature, on the roads, whatever.
Yeah.
It's worth it every time, even when it's hard to get out the door.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. So let's talk about how you got involved with the running event. How'd that happen?
Yeah, I get asked this question a lot, and it was random. So I was living in New York City, and I was at a job that I did not like. I didn't feel passionate about it, to speak to that. And I saw a posting for, I believe, the position at the time, they called it the promotions director for the running event. And so I applied, and just so many pieces fit into exactly what I wanted to be doing for work. And that was about 7 years ago, which is hard to believe.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And, the event has been through a lot since then. At the time, I nearly didn't apply because the offices were on Long Island and I was living in New York City. So I had to reverse commute out to the office.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, the event has gone through a lot since then. It was sold to a new company that I now work for, Diversified Communications, and they own multiple trade shows and conferences in many industries. But I am now the event director of the running event, and I love it. I really do.
Very cool. How long have you been event director? Is that a new position for you?
Yeah, great question. Actually, yes. So I have been the event director officially for about 6 months. Prior to that, I was the event manager. It's kind of a technicality.
Gotcha. So similar stuff. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So I have been managing the event for about 4 years.
Oh.
Yeah, and I've gotten a lot stronger and better at things, but yeah, have been been in that role for a while.
Gotcha. Right. So describe a typical day for us, if there is such a thing for you.
Well, there isn't.
I'm sure it isn't right now with the event around the corner. It's
no.
Drinking from the fire hose.
Yeah, and there isn't a typical day, and I think that's partly why I love my job is I get to take on a new challenge or build a different new relationship every day. I get to talk with the brands and say, hey, what are you trying to do? What's your objective this year? How are you trying to reach runners, and what type of runner are you trying to reach? And how can we help you do that at the running event or surrounding the event? And I love it. So let's see. Today, I I have had internal meetings with my team. We actually picked the F&B that will be served at the running event. And then I met with a new retailer who is coming to the running event for the first time and talk them through how to get the most out of the event. And then I spoke with a brand and talked about their on-site activations. So I'm rambling because I could do that all day, but
it's variety. That's got to make the days go quick, and it's got to be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And you get to see all sides of it, and just like see so much goes into an event that as an attendee, you may never see. You don't think about the meeting that went into why that sign looks like that and why it was placed in that exact location.
Right. Just go down to the minutia, right?
Right. Exactly.
So tell our listeners a little bit about the running event. Like, how long has it been going on? Who attends?
Yeah, so in the 2022 event will be our 16th.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's crazy. I've been a part of, I believe, 7. So at its core, the running event is an event for the run specialty industry. So that's how it began. The founders saw this opportunity, this niche market that they could support. So we bring in brands, so running brands that serve the running industry, and they exhibit and they show their future product. So for example, Brooks comes in, they set up a big booth and they show their upcoming line. And then the attendees are run specialty stores. So they are coming in and sourcing products. So, they go into the Brooks booth and say, oh, I really like those SKUs and I want to sell those in my store. So that, that is the core of the running event. But in addition to that, we offer education. And this has become a big part of the event, is providing education for these specialty stores. Because smart. Yeah, I mean, they are small businesses, right. and we want to support them and bring in experts to talk about marketing and to talk about hiring and retention. And we also see great value in providing space for these retailers to meet with each other, right? Mm-hmm. So, you have specialty retailers. You're in California, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So there's, a running store where you are, and then, I'm in Seattle and there's a running store here, and they aren't competing with one another. And so they can get together and say, like, oh, I'm dealing with this. Like, have you ever dealt with that? What did you do? And they discuss best practices. And so we give them a space to do that.
That's very cool. And then you guys also have a lot of seminars and things that you operate yourself, right? To educate them on, like you said, marketing or
exactly.
Direct mail things, who knows what it is.
Yeah, all of the above. We source experts in that to just like, okay, yeah, what does marketing look like right now for a specialty retailer, and how can they best reach their consumer? And I don't have that information, but I can find someone who does, and we bring them in and they lead a workshop on the current best practices with marketing and how to reach this new consumer that is shopping in their stores.
Very cool. Yeah, that's a good part of it. Yeah. And outdoor retailers have been attending the show for a long time. I remember when I was back in the Eagle Creek days, I'm not going to say how many years ago that was, but we had a few retailers that would go down there, and I never had the chance to go. But what do you think that they find there that they don't find at other shows? Probably obviously the running products.
Yeah, and I do think that's part of it. And I think it's also what we were just talking about. It's a more intimate event. It's not massive. We put this focus on education. So I do think the education piece is big, and just like that space to connect with other retailers. So, we as an industry separate the two. There's the outdoor industry and there's the running industry, and they are different, but they are very similar. And, they are both specialty retailers going through the same things, running into the same issues. And so they can all learn from each other. And so I think the running event is this special culmination of all these like-minded people who have the same challenges, who want the same things for the future. They want to grow the amount of people who are active, who are outside running or hiking. And so they have the same goals. And so we give them the space to come together and do that together.
Yeah, that makes sense because they're both selling to a very active consumer.
Exactly.
And,
exactly.
Just different activities, but they're all outside doing stuff, all the time.
Well, and that's part of the conversation is, it's rare to just find someone who just runs these days, right? Like I am a runner, but I'm also a hiker and I'm a camper and I'm a trail runner and I like to stand up paddleboard, so like we as consumers and, the consumers out there are not so easily defined and they aren't put in this box. They are doing a lot of things. And so these retail stores want to serve their consumer as best they can, support their consumer. Right.
That's right. Yeah. So the big news this year is the new display space devoted to outdoor brands. Tell us about that. What's it called?
Yeah, so this is an exciting one. So we are launching Switchback. So it's Switchback at the running event this year. And it is a space dedicated to the outdoor industry. So, Rick, you mentioned we've had outdoor specialty stores attend the running event in the past. But this year, we really wanted to invest in them because of what we're seeing, right, with what we were just talking about. The line between running and outdoor is becoming so blurred, and we think that we can bring outdoor specialty in to this special TRE community, and we're all better for it, right? So Switchback is a dedicated space on the running event floor, and so we have invited out, brands who identify as outdoor to come in and exhibit in that space. And we also are inviting these outdoor specialty stores to come and take part in the education. And we do have certain sessions that we believe really speak to them specifically. And we also just have professional development sessions that we think span both running and outdoor. So it's been exciting. And we're 6 weeks out now, and I'm ready to see it come to life.
Yeah, I can't wait to get down there and see it too. That's going to be fun.
Oh, it'll be great.
Yeah, and you're right. I do see on the trails around here. Like I say, I don't run anymore, but a lot of the trails you see as you're hiking for a day hike, or even if you're going on a backpack trip, you see somebody come around the corner that's been running for who knows how long that day. And then some of the folks that I follow on Facebook and I'm friends with, they do these long, crazy runs in the backcountry. It's awesome. But it's very impressive too. I mean, it's amazing.
Oh, ultra running.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go off on a whole tangent about ultras. Right. It's this whole scene, and it's fascinating, but it is growing, the amount of trail runners and ultra runners, and it's growing like crazy.
I'm jealous because they could see more country in a day than I can.
Right.
It's like, wait a minute, how do I get back into this?
Totally.
Yeah. So give us a little bit of a description of the vibe you're going for there. Is it pretty outdoorsy, active? What's that going to look like or feel like, if you can describe it?
And that's been part of, we go into the running event each year and we want to create the best experience for our attendees and brands and provide the most value, right? Mm-hmm. And so part of that is, how it feels. And, the running event floor has always been this energetic, area on the floor. And we hope that the Switchback area is similar. It provides that energy, but it does feel different. And I'm excited, for our listeners out there who will be at the running event to see if we got it right. So we are providing a different feel for that area. And when you walk into it, we want it to feel like, oh, I'm in the outdoor space, right? And so we have it's all in the details, but we have some detailed touches to create that. And part of it will be the brands who are there, right? And so we currently have about 30 brands exhibiting within the Switchback area.
That's pretty
and
good.
so, yeah,
That's great for the first time out, yeah.
I think so. I think we'll land at about 300 total exhibitors, and about 30, I think we'll get a few more, 30 to 35 in the Switchback area. And they will have that outdoor feel to them. And so, you'll kind of feel that as well. But interestingly, we have brands who some people may consider outdoor who are in the running event portion of the floor, which again, I think just speaks to this. Like, we feel the need to define the two, whereas the North Face is, over on the running event floor, and they've been there for years, right? So it's
or someone like Nike back when they had some of their trail footwear. I remember I just bought a new pair of Nikes actually recently for my trip to Ireland. They were awesome. So it's good to see Nike getting back into that gear, but they're still going to have their traditional running apparel and footwear, which is what they're known for, but I'm sure they'll be on the main floor, but that makes sense to have them.
Well, exactly. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's right. But they may, I'm not certain about Nike specifically, but I would think they would show their trail line. And I know certain other brands are, they've expanded their space on the running event floor so that they can show traditional road shoes as well as trail. Yeah, I'm just excited.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Yeah. We're going to take a little break and give some love to our sponsor. I've heard from some of you photographers out there that you've always wanted to sell your photos online. Well, SmugMug makes it easy. With a few clicks, you can start selling prints and digital downloads right away. They handle everything from billing to shipping and work with some of the best labs in the world. RickSayesPhotography.com has been with SmugMug for over 20 years, and they've handled every transaction flawlessly. Go to ricksays.com/sellphotos and try it for free. To set up your account today, go to ricksays.com/sellphotos. Now back to the show. And are there going to be seminars or workshops or activities devoted to the outdoor space as well in that space, unique to the outdoor folks?
Yes. Yeah, so we're doing this a few ways, and, we've kind of touched on the education, and there are certain sessions that we had the outdoor specialty retailer in mind. So we have the president of Outside speaking, and they'll be speaking about the outerverse. And, it's kind of an alternative to the metaverse. And I don't understand it, but I'm excited about it, right?
Yeah, I don't get the metaverse, but I think I'll have a better shot at getting the outerverse.
Same. So, we created that session with the outdoor specialty retailer in mind, but, we also think run specialty stores will have an interest in that. And then we think that some of our outdoor specialty stores will find an interest in the sessions that we had run specialty in mind. So on the education side of things, I'm confident and excited for these outdoor stores to come in and experience that. And in addition to that, we have created, this is kind of fun, we created a Switchback base camp.
Oh, cool.
So it's an area within the Switchback space for these outdoor retailers to gather. And we will be doing various networking opportunities there throughout the week and just encourage. So we'll be serving coffee and trail mix at one point, and we'll serve drinks at another, and just encourage these outdoor specialty stores to gather there and network with each other in the brands in that area. So we're excited about that. And then we are also doing a trail cleanup, which again, this was launched because of Switchback and the outdoor specialty, but we think that many people will want it to get involved in this. But we're going to do a trail cleanup and go out to one of the popular trails there in Austin, just walking distance from the convention center.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, and together clean up the trail that we all run, walk, ride on when we're there in Austin. We want to leave Austin better than when we arrived.
Yeah,
so Yeah, so that trail cleanup is scheduled for the last day there, kind of our final, like, hey, again, leave Austin better than when we got
Yeah,
here.
perfect. Yeah, that's very cool. So where did you go get the inspiration for some of that activity that you're doing in that space? I mean, it must have been a blast. You must have had to go out hiking and checking out some outdoor stuff and find that trail in Austin. Somebody's walked that trail for sure, run that trail.
Oh, totally. I have run that trail so many times in my life.
Right on.
No, but you're right. I mean, part of this is like, I'm a camper and I'm a hiker, and I did a lot of that this summer, and it's inspiring. And it's like, I want to help these outdoor and run specialty stores create more runners and more hikers and help them grow the sport that we all love, the outdoors and running. But I do find inspiration when I'm out there, right? Like, for this base camp area, we've had a lot of fun with what it looks like, and
right.
what the colors are. And I was out in a hike. I live in Seattle, and I was out in a hike in Eastern Washington, and I was taking pictures of the trail map. And I'm like,
Right.
let's repurpose something like this for Switchback. And
Right.
yeah, it all comes into it.
That's very cool. What's the response been from the outdoor brands?
It's been great. It really has. I would say brands and retailers alike at first were intrigued, kind of like, oh, this is interesting. Like, I've heard of the running event, or others haven't, but intrigued by the model and what we're trying to do. And so over the past few weeks, that intrigue has turned into action. And we now, like I mentioned, have 30 brands within the Switchback area, and our retail number is growing significantly. Our overall registration is trending about 20% higher than any other year.
Wow.
So we are getting the outdoor specialty. We are getting run specialty. I think everyone's excited to come together and see what we can build together.
Mm-hmm. Very exciting. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
I know, Rick. I can't believe you've never been. I'm excited to get you there.
It's kind of weird. I was talking to a couple of my former reps, and they were, like I said, they went down there all the time, and I just never happened to go. I guess I was too busy doing other shows or traveling to other retailers. Who knows? But I'll be there in a few weeks.
Great. And we want to make this the event that you can't miss in a year moving forward.
There you go. Yep. Well, we'll work on that. I'm sure it'll be awesome. Let's shift gears a little bit. In addition to running, what outdoor activities do you participate in? Sounds like you camp a lot.
Yeah, I hike and camp and do anything outside. I mentioned stand-up paddleboarding. A big one that is new for me is cross-country skiing.
Oh, fun.
So, yeah, I grew up in Texas, so I did not grow up cross-country skiing or
much snow down there. Yeah.
Did not see snow. So this is a new venture for me, but I've really enjoyed that. That's a way to be outside in the winter, in nature. When running maybe, on the roads isn't great, it gives you an opportunity to experience it.
Mm-hmm. Very fun. Yep. That's a fun activity. So do you have any suggestions or advice for folks wanting to get into the running or outdoor biz side of things? Maybe they want to work for a shop or open a shop or become a rep. I don't know.
Yeah, great question. Another one that we get often. And, I would say people always think about getting into the industry by working for a brand. And, that's one route. But a route that some people don't think about is to start at the retail level. These specialty stores invest in their employees, and they create growth opportunities for them and really create a career at the store. We have marketing directors at stores, we have buyers, and it's a great way to join the industry, get involved in your community. And from there, you may want to grow within your store that you're working for, or there are, many ways to then go work for a brand from there once you know the industry. So I would encourage looking at the retail level as a way to join the industry and then see what you like from there.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. That's come up a lot, and that's a handful of veterans like myself believe that's the only best path in to something you're going to do, whether it's running or skiing or biking or hiking or outdoor. Because once you know and once you experience that relationship and that process the consumer goes through at a retail store, looking at gear, talking to an employee, learning about it, then you can go in so many directions from there as you join a brand or move up through your store, because you just have, hey, you know what the rubber's like meeting the road. And it's a huge education.
That's exactly it. That's brands trust people coming from retailers because, they know this runner, they know this hiker better than I do, right? They've been having these conversations with them. Their insight will be valuable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's 100% spot on. What's your favorite piece of outdoor or running gear under $100?
Oh, this is a fun one. So
probably can't be shoes anymore, right? I mean, I'm not sure you can buy.
No, you really can't.
Yeah.
But, my answer probably won't be the most exciting thing. There's definitely a lot of technology and cool gear these days. But if I were to recommend anything, it would be to purchase high quality socks.
Oh.
Whether that be for running or for hiking or camping.
That's a good one.
Your socks will make or break your experience. I really believe that.
Yeah.
So invest in the socks and you're going to have a better experience.
That's a good one. Yeah. Your socks make your footwear better. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. Good. I like that. How about reading? Are you a big reader? What are some of your favorite books?
Great question. And I am a big reader. I still claim that I'm a big reader. I feel like we're 6 weeks out from the event and I haven't read in weeks. So I feel like a fraud.
You're a little busy right now. Yeah.
But I typically am a big reader and I'm a sucker for a good novel. Nothing crazy. I have read most of the Reese Witherspoon book club books, right? It sounds a bit cheesy, but there's some good novels, good characters in those books. If I were to recommend one, this one may be overdone, but I really believe it's one of the best books I've ever read. Is Untamed by Glennon Doyle.
Oh, I heard that one. Okay.
Yeah, highly recommend. I have pulled quotes from that book that I have on Post-its at my desk. It serves as an inspirational book, just something that you can relate to. She just has a way of putting things that is unique. So I couldn't put that book down. I highly recommend. Good
one. Well, we'll put a link to that in the show notes. That sounds like a good one I have to add to my list.
Definitely do.
My never-ending list. As we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to say or ask of our listeners?
This probably won't come as too much of a surprise, but just a reminder to our listeners to shop local. So, we have been talking about these specialty stores and how they're small businesses. And I believe all of our communities are better because of these stores. They are the community builders and they invest in your community. So shop there. If you have the choice of, the quick online purchase or the going in and, meeting with your specialty store, it's the latter always. It's worth it.
I agree 100%. There's some great local stores here in Bishop, and it's always good, even if you're not in the market to buy anything, just go in and say hey and talk to them and see what's going on. They always have information that you may not have known, or weather, or trail.
Oh, great point.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
they're good.
All the events going on,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
oh,
yeah.
They most likely have runs that leave from their store, or like adventures, or a race that's coming up. They're just great they're a great resource.
Or someone that's coming in to do a presentation, a runner or a speaker or something. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, very
cool. Yep.
Awesome. That's a good one. And if people want to reach out to you, how's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah. So if more information about the running event, I think we'll put it in the chat, but info at therunningevent.com. And our Instagram handle is at therunningevent. And if you want to reach me personally, it's chenderson@divcom.com. And my Instagram is kind of funny, but CJ Flenderson @CJ Flenderson.
All right, cool. We'll link to all that stuff in the show notes. That's awesome. Well, it's been great talking to you, Christina. I look forward to meeting you at the show in, I guess, it's 6 weeks, huh?
Yeah, 6 weeks from tomorrow.
Wow, not that you're counting.
Nope, I haven't had a countdown on my computer, no.
That's funny. Good.
No, but it's a good thing. And yeah, I really look forward to it, Rick. It's weird that we haven't met now, and you have the conversation. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. It'll be fun. I look forward to it too. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Outdoor Biz Podcast. Be sure to visit our website, theoutdoorbizpodcast.com, where you'll find show notes with links to everything we talked about and more. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss a single episode. And while you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or spread the word and tell a friend about the show. That would really help us out too. Be sure to tune in every week. And thanks again for listening to the Outdoor Biz Podcast with Rick Sayes.